starring real brothers Jason Spivey and his little brother, Brandon.
Sponsored by Shut the Fuck Up Cakes. No, really, shut the fuck up.
All right, guys, welcome back inside the lab here. We've had a couple weeks off here. Jason had a little visit. Where'd you go?
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. So
back last night.
It's a little fun in the sun for Jason.
Rain though, but it's all good.
Hey, we gotta be able to treat ourselves a little bit, right?
Yeah, had a little fun though.
We thought we were going to get some special guests in here last week, but schedules just didn't end up kind of matching up. I know Donnie did want to get in here and kind of put a face to his name. I know he's got a lot to say. So still kind of putting that offer out there for you guys if you want to get back in here in the lab. We're open to the idea of a Zoom call. Just if you have any interest in getting on here, let us know. We'll get you guys on here.
We'll make it happen. Just let us know you're interested, and we'll find a way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to be able to dive right into this one, guys. I think we're over half paid now. I think we're down to about the final four, I believe. I'm not going to fact check that at the moment because I think I know who it is, and I've been in contact with most of them already. I know Jason's been getting some of that as well. So I feel like we're dialing in here to getting fully paid up, which means here starting next week we'll start be talking about playoffs.
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Wow.
All right, stick around, guys. We'll dive back. All right, guys, welcome back here. Jason's got some notes, and we're going to kind of dive into last week's games here. Before we do that, let's just note that my dumb ass did not realize. I got to think that the whole entire league has gone on unnoticing that the king has been dethroned.
Yep.
I did not realize it until about 2 hours ago when I was starting to do my preparations for the show today that in fact, we have no unbeaten teams anymore.
Yep, no unbeaten teams left. Yeah, that vacation cost you big one there, didn't it?
I knew going into Monday night, 7 points. You had a couple guys left, one of them being a kicker. I mean, you shoot up. You feel like field goal kickers get 10 points easy just getting off the bus anymore.
Yeah, and then by the time I got back to the room and turned the game on, of course they've already started, everything set. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it did not end well.
It did not go well. But that's part of it. So
yeah. Hey, so now we got a 76-point win on our books. But anyway,
that goes to show you got to basically stay on it all the time,
exactly
right up to those game times to figure things out.
Yeah, I think another person made a mistake. Kind of touches on that as well. We'll dive into that one here in a little bit once we start working on these games one by one. But what you got over there?
But the rest of the standings, I think your division, we got a new guy up on top now. Warden takes over your division. I think I know Ball still in control of his. I've still got the tiebreaker right now over Big Fish. We got the like records right now, just going with that win I got over him right now. But there's still a lot to be determined, so who knows how these things are going to turn out. But we are starting to see a little separation on some teams. Some teams are starting to fade a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about this just kind of the other day when I was working about. I feel like we're kind of getting into a little tier system with our own league. You got your. I feel like you got your automatic bids that we kind of. I feel like there's 3 or 4 teams that we can pretty well say for sure are going to be playoff teams. You're one of those, obviously. I feel like we got a group of about 3 or 4 muddled right there that's going to be fighting for. I think those final 2 playoff spots are going to be the ones up for grabs. I think the first 4 are going to kind of solidify themselves.
Yeah, but I tell you what, even my division and the one with I Know Ball and bedtime, those moves bedtime made might have changed that division.
Yeah.
Being able to pull McConkey, who figures him to be on waivers.
Right.
And then making that trade for Jacobs. I mean, that changed that whole lineup, changed that whole division right there.
It really does.
There's going to be a little bit of a battle right there. And obviously, Big Fish has been right on my ass the whole year.
Yeah, he's not letting me breathe.
He pulls out the Scatabo pick, and then he backs that up with the Uncle Rico pick.
My goodness, and I mean, last week, gosh, we're going to be talking about that soon. But my goodness, that was a big one.
And then your guys' division, there's still a lot to be settled there, so it's going to be tight. Obviously, a lot of games still to be played, and those division games, those last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of wild because that's the odd thing is even though I'm kind of muddling here in the middle again, I'm 3-0 in my division.
Yeah, so 3 guys are 3-0 in their division.
Yeah.
Me and you were both 3-0 in our division. Was Donnie 3-0?
Yeah, Donnie was 3-0.
So yeah, so Donnie was 3-0 in his division.
So, and I mean, we've kind of faltered since. You know, me and Donnie are both 500. So we've lost three
that
straight.
3-0 in your division is gonna.
Yeah, we'll see how it kind of plays out. It's going to be very interesting, but it's also going to be very fun. But one thing I'm thinking is, given the first 5-6 weeks of the season here, I can't confidently say that whatever roster is the best roster right now is going to be what wins anybody a championship, because the injuries this year, for whatever reason, seem to be running rampant through big name players.
Yeah, you're going to start getting guys back. So some of those things are going to happen. Some of these guys like Rico, Chuba comes back.
Mhm.
Does he hang on to some of these carries? Or do they go back to the way they were before? That'll change how Dan's lineup looks.
And it goes up, just up and down the board. You're looking at you got kind of a running back committee that's some person's going to break out there in Pittsburgh, whether it be Jalen Warren or Kenneth Gainwell. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of these battles that are kind of shaking out here. And
I think Drew gets back CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
It makes him a lot tougher of a team.
Mm-hmm.
Burrow's going to come back, and all those Bengals are going to be good. Some of those guys are still putting up some good numbers, but he's just going to enhance those numbers when he comes back. So it's going to be,
it's going to be a wild end of the season. I can pretty much guarantee you that. But I think it's probably going to essentially be health, to some capacity on who's going to be the last one standing.
Yep, it definitely going to be. Hopefully you made the right moves when you needed to.
Yeah.
I know you're struggling with that right now. I think your lineup was pretty much set for you.
I had one player on my bench who was playing in a game last weekend.
I do
want to talk about him in a little bit. I do want to talk about him, but one player that was actively playing in a game. So yeah,
made it easy on that decision.
Didn't have many options. It wasn't going to matter anyway.
But the other thing too is, some of these guys that's really stepped up this year. I kind of went through and was looking at the top 5 at each position just to see what new names are in there.
So, and I love that you did this. It's a great idea. And this is like, for some of you guys that are projectioners, Mark Johnson, Drew has admitted he gets caught up in projections, and that cost Drew a game this past weekend, I do believe, getting caught up in projections, because I asked him specifically about it. But understand the reality of it too, that the fantasy numbers are what they are. Like, there's a hot streak and a cold streak that goes on pretty much weekly with players. So
here's quarterbacks, top 5 quarterbacks: Mahomes, Allen. Kind of expect them guys to be up there.
You would think with the Chiefs starting 2 and 3,
that the Mahomes wouldn't be up there.
Correct.
Number 3, Mayfield. Okay, they've had a great year.
MVP.
Jalen Hurts, number 4. Here's the big surprise, number 5, May.
As much shit as he got for being kept on a team, he's producing numbers with the likes of Patrick Mahomes,
But here's the
Allen.
crazy thing. He hasn't been playing him. He picks up Daniel Jones, who's been playing well. And up until this week, I don't think he's been in the lineup.
It's funny. Like, we've talked about this years ago, but like, there is a certain way you can play fantasy football knowing that we're in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Certain players carry a little more value than they really would anywhere else in the country.
Colts always go first or early.
Yeah.
Or, people stretch to get them.
Yeah.
You see that, the home team everywhere you go. So.
Right.
So getting into the running back side, number 1, Jonathan Taylor, which is, he was predicted to be maybe 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's up there. Bijan's up there. We kind of expect those guys. Ashan being number 4. He's a home run guy. He's kind of up in that top, but to be up number 4. Number 5, Javonte Williams.
And good for him. Like I said, I've only been able to actually put my eyes on him one time for an extended period, one game this year, and
Broncos let him go, but Dallas picks him up. Who would have really thought that would be a top 5 running back at this point?
But sometimes it's a system, and it's just, it's a certain number of things. But it looks like to me he's just playing pissed off.
Yeah, just kind of prove that point.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers, Puka, we knew he's going to be up there. JSN, he's going to be up there. Amon-Ra is going to be up there. How about Pickens? Wow, being number 4.
So I guess my question is,
effect?
So is it, if CD's not hurt, is Pickens in that spot?
Or
That's what we're going to have to find out, and we're going to find out over the
because
next
if
couple
CD's
weeks.
playing and in that spot, that's what you expect your top 5 to look at.
Yeah.
Because number 5 was Chase.
Yep.
So that's what we kind of expected.
I would say that, yeah. So that's going to be very interesting to kind of see moving forward too, because and I even watched them talk about that on Get Up today about how the Dallas Cowboys need to make sure that they're finding ways to keep Pickens involved.
Yeah. He gets disinterested. He gets
very easily, and he's
problem.
showing he can be a wide receiver 1. So
yeah, then you get over to tight ends. A lot of those tight ends that were picked early. Number 1 tight end Ferguson. 2 McBride. You expected McBride to be up there. Warren number 3. Goddard number 4, and Kelsey in the top 5.
So Kelsey's surprising that he's in his top 5. I think it's not. I mean, I want to give him his props because obviously, you're putting the numbers up to do it. But I still feel like a lot of it goes back to just the downward trend of the tight end position.
I mean, obviously the Bowers was supposed to be up there. Laporta's supposed to be up there.
Yeah, and now
Hawkinson's supposed to be up in there.
And just keep it all fair, Laporta is 6, so it's not like he's falling off a cliff here.
Yeah. But here's the crazy thing: as I put these things together, is some of our teams have 2 of these guys on their team. I mean, Mark Johnson's got 2 of these quarterbacks in the top 5.
Well, good for Mark, though, because, we give him a lot of shit for not really being a fantasy football guy, not really understanding it. But he's got 2 top 5 tight ends, and he multiple weeks before he made that trade with Travis Kelce played the 2 tight end, putting one of them in his flex.
So, yeah, two top 5 quarterbooks, 2 top 5 tight ends.
So at least he recognized what he was dealing with.
Yeah, I got a little value there. Let's get it moved. Who else we got on the same team here? Obviously, Puka and Amon-Ra on the same
we
team.
knew that one was going to be just a 2-headed monster.
So it's kind of interesting when you look at those.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it just goes to show, though, I mean, especially early on in the season, I know I talk about this a lot. Now we're kind of getting to that point where the numbers are what they are, so everything is going to kind of be what's going to be moving forward. But early on, I mean, every year is a different year. I don't know why we get so caught up in what a guy did last year. If things change, a lot of times things change that we don't even know are changing, whether it be coordinators or, we talk about coordinators like they're the only people coaching players. Well, they got position coaches. I mean, there's a lot of things that can change year in and year out.
Yeah, and what's odd is, we go through all that list. How many of those guys were non-keepers? There's a lot of these guys are non-keepers.
Makes you wonder what the keeper list is going to look like this year.
So it kind of makes things interesting.
I don't know who I got, but we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Let's dive into the games from last week. Some highs and some lows, and some lows. We had some lows.
We had
76-point winner.
76.
Oh man, what we got first up, man?
First up, let's just start with that 76-point winner. Mark's Monstrous putting out the big win.
Big time. Man, I should have stuck with my guns in the group chat, man, when I jokingly said he was going to win.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. Should have.
I didn't even check back into the game because I thought it was I thought it was a lock that you were going to come back.
It happens. The big thing was just not paying attention whenever it was time to, make that tight end move.
I don't know how to get real excited about what anybody does in a 76-point win.
There ain't nothing exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean, Mark still needs to do work. You need to respond better, whatever. I don't even know what happened there.
I will say, though, and I did notice Mark this week is maybe going to May, but I know he's been keeping him on the bench. Daniel Jones has been playing well, but, we talked about earlier, him being a top 5 quarterback out there. He was your keeper. He's putting up the numbers. He looks really good.
The thing is
if you're still a Patriot.
I know, and I think that's part of what it is. I think it's the hatred for Patriots that we have here and the love affair we have for Colts players. Again, what we talked about a few minutes ago. But
we talk about all the time, all year long. It's like, hey, your keepers you kept for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And to go away from him, week 2?
Yeah, I just don't think, though, he can – I don't see Daniel Jones is ever going to be able to have a game of 4 touchdowns. And I see Drake maybe.
Yeah, because I always worry about Daniel Jones is going to have
the best running back in football.
Yeah, there's already been 2 of those games where Taylor's had 3 touchdown runs. And, so what's going to be when Taylor has that game again? And Warren running one in.
I mean, yeah, you got 2 40-point games. Yeah. You got multiple double-digit blowouts. Jonathan Taylor is going to be the new Derrick Henry. He is a finisher. Yeah. If you watch him play, at the
Well,
start of the game.
I do like how
he
they
gets
don't.
better.
I do like how they don't push him early.
They don't,
The
because
third quarter
he's
he comes out and he just
wears you down, and it's fun to see. But yeah,
But
so
there's going to be one of those games where it's going to be all Taylor and Jones ain't going to be there. I mean, things could happen with May too, but I just see that May's going to have more
opportunities and consistency. I mean, Daniel Jones has been very. I mean, he's got 200 plus yards and a touchdown in all 6 games, and that's only happened with 2 other Colts quarterbacks in recent memory, and we both know who those are. So he's definitely doing some good things. But again, I just don't. I mean, when we look back on it, you know who's going to have the more points at the end of the season. You want to be able to get those weekly.
I mean, it's a nice problem to have, both guys producing.
Yeah.
It could be the other side of things is, hey, I'm not getting points from either. Which one do I play?
Yeah, Mark, start a motion, man. Maybe we'll open up quarterback to that flex position for you.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
All right, good win though, man.
Good win.
Terrible loss for you though.
Congrats. Yeah.
I think that's more. It's not the win; it's more the loss.
Yeah, this probably is.
Sorry, Mark.
Tough one.
All right, moving on.
I know ball. Big win over the Battle Buster there. I put my little notes here. Is JSN that new top dog wideout?
Well, I mean, I'm not allowed to talk about JSN because Scott thinks I just sit over here and pat myself on the shoulder. But I mean, I've talked about this dude for 2 years.
Well, you do pat yourself on the shoulder.
I mean, I seen it. Dude, they still had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and I told them guys, Jackson Smith and Jigba is the future of the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, they proved it by moving everybody else out of there. And he's just putting up. I mean, he's getting the ball on that team. It's not like it's a committee or something like, hey, we got one option. We're going to throw them the ball, shut them down. They can't shut them down.
I mean, I talked to Drew at home about, like we're looking at we tier system, okay, and most people know what we're talking about when we're talking about tier systems. Even if you don't utilize it or apply it when you're playing fantasy football, you should understand what we're talking about here. There's a tier level of teams, players, and positions. Obviously, we know that top tier position for wide receivers has been Jamar Chase, Jettas, and CD, and maybe Amon-Ra the last 2 years. So that's pretty much it.
Yep.
And Puka.
Yeah, and Puka's kind of snuck
for
up
the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So, but as myself, I like to figure out who's the next guy that's going to be into that echelon. And I think JSN is there.
I always look at it, especially with the wideout position, those top 3. It's been Jettas, Chase, and CD probably most recently. Who are those guys that's going to challenge them guys? Amon-Ra, Puka, JSN. Those are the guys that, hey, who's going to be the next?
I'll tell you, odd enough to think about, but we have to start considering it because he's getting the touchdown volume to support it, is Michael Pittman. I'm not saying that he's getting to that level, but what are we talking about here? Are we talking about NFLstat.com or are we talking about winning fantasy football games?
Well, but at the end of the day is these guys, even when they don't give you the touchdown, they give you the 100, 120, 130 yards.
Yeah.
Pittman, he's going to give you 40,
one
50,
or the other.
Yeah, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the other thing that I got there is how good has Bijan been, man?
Bijan is,
is he the top guy? When you
He's
talk about points per reception kind of league. He's got to be the number one guy.
So,
Taylor would be your number one running back when you're talking about a typical running back. But when you throw in what he does in the passing game.
Well, when we talk about what we just talked about with the wide receiver position and who's the next guy that's going to kind of be, I think everybody knew Bijan coming out was the next guy up as far as potential wise to kind of maybe be the next coming of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. And who replaces McCaffrey is
that's what we're looking for. Is who's going to be
Swiss
the
Army
next
knife kind of guy.
Exactly. And I think he's there. Is he the best running back in football? No. But he might be the best fantasy running back in football.
That's definitely there. So
let's not move on here before we talk.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the big injury to
big
Brady.
injury. Eggboo could go down.
Now, we're not going to do a whole injury segment, but we do have to make note of that because that's a big one. I don't know how long that's going to be lingering.
Yeah, and then even when he does come back, you're going to have the other guys all coming back at the same time. So I think Mike Evans is actually back practicing this week.
So,
and we talked about, hey, what is he going to do when Evans and Godwin are both there?
And I'm starting to kind of wonder, you think back to the teams of Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, not Tom Brady because he never had the weapons, but those two in particular and even Kurt Warner. You felt like it didn't matter who lined up on the outside. They were going to be exceptional receivers.
Yeah.
Well, Who was the top free agent ad this week? Who was the guy
Tampa
everybody was
Bay's number
fighting?
5 receiver.
Who was the guy everybody was fighting for? Because I seen all you guys put in there that didn't get him.
Right.
So I know, you know what I mean? But that's the kind of
it's kind of thing is that offense is going to put something up no matter who's out there.
So what is going to happen? Because now you're going to have another guy enter the mix up. Well, he's pretty talented too. So what happens when you got 4 or 5 guys that are all super talented? How are you going to spread the wealth?
Yep.
It's going to be an interesting question to see play out.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm not having to deal with it, but I wish I was.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ed Boots is still going to have a pretty good year. I think when he comes back, I don't think he's going to perform where he was. So.
Yeah, I agree. One last little question here, just touching on that big 42-point outburst from Bijan. I know we had another big game this past weekend. I can't remember who it was right offhand. We'll touch on it here in a few. But my question is, you see anybody going over 50 this year?
Seeing those games, seeing Taylor, putting up those big games, Josh Allen put up that big game earlier this year. I don't know. That's a lot.
It is, and it's like, I mean, it just makes me wonder because I feel like the guys that are getting these 40
think what we had
games,
last year, I think maybe Jamar Chase had that big game where he did it. Saquon maybe had one of them 200-yard games where he got up around 50. I mean, it takes a lot to actually get there. I mean, you're scoring 3 touchdowns minimum, probably 200 yards minimum to get up there, plus catching some passes.
I know. So it just makes me wonder, though. But it'll be fun to watch. Either way, good win from I Know Ball. We kind of knew how that one was going. I felt like Battle Buster did make a couple bad moves there. I
don't think it really would have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered. I did the math on it, but I get paid no dollars to sit here and criticize you guys, but I'm doing it anyway.
Right.
I felt critical about the decisions he made in that game. I thought he had better players on his bench going into it.
Right.
That's all.
Yep. Moving on. Warden taking on Twin Bowers there.
Yeah, so this was one of the games I got wrong this week. I only got 2 games wrong this week.
This is actually one I got right.
This is the second one.
I didn't get much right.
Yeah, I got yours wrong, jerk.
Yeah, I got that one wrong too.
Anyway, no, big win for Scott though. Took charge in the division. It took a game lead, so that's just a complete flip there. You don't get into a tie. He never gets into a tie in the lead. He goes from second to first. And just outright.
Right on. Big games out of A-Shan. Genty, I tell you what, the last 3 weeks he's been a running back.
Yeah,
he's been a points getter.
He really is.
Chase has been figuring some things out. Scott's starting to get some momentum there with those
guys.
I
mean, you got to know that, first off, with Jamar Chase, Joe Flacco is smart enough to understand
throwing the ball.
Yeah, what he's dealing with. He may make bad decisions, bad throws, and not be skilled-wise what he used to be, but he's gonna get him the ball. Genty, he is. They're finally starting to understand that their whole entire team needs to run through him. Mm-hmm. And then Achan, I mean, finally Scott. I feel like he's been married to him for 3 years, and I think he's finally justifying.
He's been solid for Scott all that.
Well,
time
but this is kind of shows his value to be solid on a bad team. It's easy to be solid when you guys are just flying up and down the field and everybody scores every time you touch the ball. But now he's actually proven he's a football player. Not that he wasn't, don't get me wrong.
And then on the other side, Twin Bowers, I think, he's still trying to put it back together. CD's coming back, but,
Yeah, it was, there was nothing he could do. Everything was single digits on his bench. I thought he was going to have a little bit better showing than he did. I didn't see him getting up there into the 140s like Scott did. This is more about just a big kind of pour on week for Scott. And yeah, you said it, Drew's just searching here. He's getting some guys coming back. I know just talking to him, he feels a lot more confident today than he did, a week ago.
It does help when your top dog's back to practice. So.
Yeah.
Moving on, Team Johnson versus JJ's Masters class.
This was my pick of the week just because I wanted to make a game a pick of the week. It was one I felt most confident about. And, it held up. This went pretty much about where I thought it was going to go. Jettis, I'm starting to wonder if he could be sitting on a roster that I don't know if he realizes how good it could be yet.
Well, it could be, but it's also one of those rosters that could just go the other way. You got a big game out of Swift. We've talked about his running backs all year long. They're going to be they're those old guys that's always been there.
Yeah.
Can they maintain a full season?
Right.
finally got a little bit out of Brian Thomas Jr. Finally, I mean that's kind of the one that's been weighting him down.
Yeah, so that was the
If
one
he
that
gets going next to JJ, I mean that's going to be.
That's the one that's really got me excited, and it's not so much that it was, him getting going. It just seems collectively the offense is starting to flow a little bit better. If you remember in the first few weeks, everything was running through Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
When Travis Etienne goes, nothing else goes.
Now the rest of the
now that he comes back to more kind of modest numbers, they kind of air it out a little bit more, and hopefully that's going to be kind of where they tend to land a little bit more consistently.
On the other side, though, Team Johnson get a big game out of London.
Yeah, he did, but I think that with London is
that's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah, you feel like that's the number that we all thought would be consistent.
Whenever everybody thought London should be one of those top 10 receivers, pushing the top 5, and he's got that kind of talent. It's
He's
just
a big
they
dude.
haven't been consistent with it. I mean, whether it's the quarterback play, the offense in general. Of course, Bijan getting the bulk of the carries and the receptions.
And you're starting to see, they're starting to incorporate. They're making more of an effort to incorporate Kyle Pitts more often.
It's starting to get more looks.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was nice to see London actually get a chance to produce.
Well, what I liked about it is they're giving him the contested balls.
Yeah.
So, just in my opinion, when a quarterback's doing that, it shows a trust level with you.
My guy's going to go.
Yeah. So start to look for some of those in the end zone more frequently.
So, but great win there for JJ's masterclass. I don't think there was much Mark could have done.
Yeah, Johnson. I mean, it was just a bad week. I mean, the thing is, it really wasn't terrible. I mean, again, we know what the number is. We got a baseline of that 120. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some 76-point outliers here and there that win a game, but
and sometimes there's that 130 that loses.
Yeah, but I mean, this one pretty much held true to form there, 121 to 99. I mean, you need to get over 100 to be in the ballpark. I feel like. So nice win.
Yep. Moving on to the motorboaters and no bedtime. I know bedtime had this one probably circled on his calendar.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it kind of lost his luster even for him whenever
everybody went down.
And whenever you look at my roster and everybody knew, it's like we talked about it off camera. It's like, what do you do? I mean, we have such a small bench that you can't keep a revolving door of players.
Yeah, that's the thing is whenever you're going to have a lot of injuries and then a lot of bye weeks. And you don't want to just throw those guys out there to the wolves because you'll never get them back.
I know, and that's part of the problem is because I quit a couple years ago. I quit drafting on bye weeks, and I'm just like, it's good. At some point, it's going to screw me. At some point, most of the time it doesn't. This was the one time, well, not one time, but this was the week where it screwed me pretty bad.
Yeah, but you don't expect those at draft day, all those injuries.
So. Exactly, and I mean, it is what it is. It's just a loss. I feel pretty confident moving forward because I do. Hey, I have the bye weeks for the bulk of my players out, in my rearview mirror now.
Yeah,
so maybe I'm going to get
behind you.
Yeah, maybe I'll get some matchups here that play into my favor.
Then the other thing is, with bedtime there, I talked about it earlier, is those moves that he's gotten to make here recently. I think that kind of moved him up to a contender. Jacobs being a big one, and then able to pick up Ladd on waivers like he did. Guy probably shouldn't have been out there available, but
yeah, I mean I really feel like the McConkey thing should probably be a little more noticeable. I mean, I get the Josh Jacobs thing, I really do, but I think this is being overglorified with him. I think he's peaking right now. I'm not the biggest Josh Jacobs guy. I'm not the biggest Green Bay Packers fan. They're going to have fucking 7-point games. They're going to run his ass into the dirt.
The thing about Jacobs is that's his second running back.
Right. Yeah. But I'm saying, though, everybody's glorifying
that's a good number two.
Like this is some great, I still liked Montgomery. I think he gave up a lot to get.
Yeah, but you got a guy in Montgomery that's going to get half the carries.
Yeah, I get it. But again, I mean, that's just difference in opinions here. But obviously, he feasted last week, and it's so funny because almost every time that a trade has happened so far in our league, one of the players involved in the trade blows up immediately
right after. I mean, even A.J. Brown had 1 week.
Yeah,
it was right after.
Kyron Williams. As soon as I sent him to Drew, 2 touchdowns. Didn't have 2 touchdowns for me all year. Anyway.
But
Nice
like
win,
you said,
Donnie.
looking at your roster, nothing you could do there. I mean, you only had one other guy available to play.
Yeah, he was double digits. You know,
And,
he's only been under double digits twice this year, just for whatever that's
But
worth.
that wouldn't have been enough, even if you added him to your
Yeah,
lineup.
I mean, dude, there was nothing there. So it was just
Good win for
we all
Donnie.
knew what was going to happen. I didn't even pick myself to win that game. So, but I will give Donnie credit. He beat me, and he beat me soundly.
Last game on the docket, Big Fish, big old win for Big Fish over Beats by Ray.
Yeah, that was a big one. Just real quick before we dive into some of the specifics on that, I do want to give Beats by Ray a little bit of tongue lashing here for not making your roster adjustment there before the game with Quentin Johnson being ruled out. I even gave you a little teaser before the game time that you needed to make an adjustment, but you fucking ignored it. Last time I do that, Beats.
Great job there by Big Fish. I know I talked about earlier those running backs that he's going with there. Is he going to carry him?
You know, the
guy who you expected to carry his team, Derrick Henry, ain't doing nothing. And then he picks up Scatabo, Uncle Rico.
So, I mean, the Scatabo move is going to be just probably the move that defines his season. I hate to say that.
Do you see him maintaining that all year long, or is he out of flash in the pan right now?
I was beginning to wonder, but I start to look at Tyrone Tracy's numbers, and he's getting nothing now.
But, I mean, it's the same thing Tyrone did last year.
But he was serviceable all year, though.
Yeah.
You know, and if he can get 1 year out, I mean, you know, Dan.
Well, that's the thing is him being serviceable enough for Dan to keep winning.
I think so.
I mean, because if you're taking him down from 30 a game down to 10.
I mean, but with that receiving core and then the emergence of Rico Dowdle.
Well, the other thing with Dowdle there is
when Chuba comes back.
And he's coming back this week.
Yeah, and I think it's really easy to get caught up in that Rico Dowdle thing because
I mean,
that was like a revenge game.
You would think how he played, though, he's going to at least get maybe a 50-50 this week to see if they're going to if he can.
I mean, you got to take a realistic approach to this, right? On the Rico Dowdle game.
Well, yeah.
I mean, who was he playing?
Right.
He was playing the Dallas Cowboys, the team that got rid of him.
Right.
Is he going to go into every game with that same kind of attitude? And, you know what I mean?
But I mean, the thing is, this week he may have to play him. I think Henry may be on bye.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
You know, I don't know what else he had there. I didn't really look through it real tough there. But,
yeah, I mean, it's just.
I mean, it was a nice pickup and win.
It was a solid. It was a Dan performance, and it was one of Beats. Beats has been at the peak and the valley.
But here's what I'm wondering is, do you see Dan now wanting to ride Dowdle?
Yes.
Longer than he probably should.
Yes, I do.
Because of this one game.
Yes, I do. Until he watches this video and then he starts second guessing himself. Yes, I do 100%.
I mean, if we probably didn't point it out, he would probably be in his week.
He's probably
lineup for the next 6 weeks.
And he would probably even move even make the little adjustments to where he's in that top spot.
Yeah.
Like it's not Derrick Henry at the number one position. It's
Derrick Henry becomes the flex.
Yeah.
If we didn't call him out, we know that would have happened.
No shit. Stick around. We'll let you know. A good win nonetheless. It was just a really solid performance from him. Shitty one from Tim. But I feel like it was like half the week performed, half the league didn't this last week.
Yeah, it was like you're really up or you're really down this week.
Yeah, I got to pee.
And we're back, everybody. That time for the picks for week 7.
I'm pretty good at this.
Well, I'll give you a little credit. It's about the one thing in fantasy football you can do well.
Fuck at everything else. We were just talking off camera, guys. I was like, I think I might just start paying to play my team and letting Zakiah play it because I'm teaching him to play fantasy football, by the way, on a different app. But anyway, letting him play my team and just me being the commissioner because I suck at fantasy football.
But you can pick.
I can't.
Too bad you can't bet on this stuff.
No kidding.
Maybe you win a little money.
I don't know. I just spent like an hour on the freaking line with ESPN trying to get my account figured out.
I, on the other hand, suck at the picks. So I've had some good weeks here and there.
but you win games though. So
yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago I did go 5-1. Last week, 2-4. I know I didn't officially put them out there, but I had them all rep. Or
2-4.
2-4.
Gosh. I wonder if you would do better if you were just trying to pick losers. Would it be easier if you thought about it?
Well, last week, I know I've had a bad week of making picks, so I'm like, I'm just going to take some wild-ass guesses here. Thinking, okay, this guy's going to get upset. It didn't happen.
The funny thing is,
I got upset instead.
The picks I feel confident about are the ones I lose.
That's how it was. So, you were 4-2 the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was 5-1 and 2-4. So
yeah,
not a good year for me going. I know your overall record will be pretty well.
Yeah, I'm probably. Gosh, I mean, I'm probably over 70%. I'd say.
I'm sure we'll get it added up and added about right here on the screen. But let's get into this week's games. First one up, the Bus against Battle Busters. What you got?
So this one, can I start with a question to an owner? Like, is
Well,
that
you can do whatever you want. It's your show.
so? Like, are you ready to roll out Rice coming off suspension?
Well, hell yeah! I
Just
got
go
no
right
other
to it?
options.
Oh,
What else
you-
am I going to do?
Oh, I didn't look.
My receivers have sucked all year.
Oh well, that is right. You don't have any good receivers.
I've been waiting for this day all year.
Shit, he's about to have a parade. All right, you think you expect much out of him? Right
I
out of
hope.
the gate?
Hey, if he gives me 12, I'm happy because I haven't been given 12.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like Battle Busters kind of do as well.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying there. The only thing that I don't like about his team is he relies on a lot of Washington.
I knew you were going with that.
And it's not like it's not the greatest show on turf, obviously. So when they don't play well, he suffers.
But the thing is I feel like he has. I'm starting to wonder. He's got the same thing we've talked about with Kelsey and Warren that Mark Johnson had earlier.
Right.
So, I mean, keep in mind that this dude is sitting on 2 top 6 tight ends. When you're thinking about a Deebo Samuel, who he continues to roll out there, who's now running with a questionable mark for 2 weeks in a row, and after last week was pretty much non-existent in that game.
Right.
If he's, DK, if he's not 100% healthy the way he plays the game of football, I would imagine that probably hinders quite a bit. I got to start wondering if he's thinking about this decision of running a 2 tight end set because he's missing a lot
that's a hard
with
thing
Goddard.
to do in fantasy world.
To think I'm gonna put Dallas Goddard in place of Deebo Samuel would sound diabolical, but like he's missing a lot of points every week because almost every week Dallas Goddard scores a touchdown.
Yeah, and like I said, it's one of those things when you're relying a lot on one team. Even when we talk here later on, we got another situation where that's kind of going on. That team struggles that week. It ruins your whole week.
So I 100% agree with you. I also 100% think that he's not there yet, or he's not made the proper steps yet, or Washington is not there yet. But I have a follow-up to that. But real quick, just getting it out of the way, my pick is going to be you this week. I think it's going to be a close game. And I actually see both teams, going over the 120 mark that we talked about. So I think this is going to be a 120-point loss for one of you. So I don't think it's going to be a huge loss, but I got you winning.
I have me winning as well. Like I said, I think that Commanders thing will do him in.
So my question is, as a follow-up, would you agree Washington's kind of been a letdown just overall this year so far?
I think they played better than they were last year. Obviously,
I feel like that happens a lot.
Obviously, that whole Hail Mary thing kind of catapulted them mentally, and I think they carried that momentum for a while. But I think they were better than the team was. They finished better than the team actually was, if that makes sense.
It's kind of like running on adrenaline.
Yeah. If you told me at the beginning of the year what team that made the playoffs last year that's not going to make the playoffs, Commanders would have been my pick.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because I think that's kind of what my angle is, are they going to turn it back on? I actually I'm starting to think that at least offensively, it's going to start clicking again with them.
But even at that, defensively, the Bears put up points on them.
I just think it bodes well for Battle Busters is where I was going, for having a couple different player positions. Because
I see that on those high-powered offense. I see if you got some Detroit Lions, those kind of teams like that, hey, they're going to put up some points. But, those offensives that are just kind of middle-of-the-road offensives that rely heavily on them guys.
And so this is a real question. You're a Battle Buster. How are you going to get through the season? Because Krosky Merritt is your number 2 running back, and you don't have a third. There's nobody else.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's nobody else that's going to do anything. You don't have another running back.
What he really needs is a Washington blow-up game to happen, trade values go up, move something.
I mean, Jason, he doesn't have a third running back.
Right.
I'm trying to understand how he got in this position. How did Krosky Merritt become your second and only other running back? Because he didn't come into the season expected. They had Austin Eckler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he came in once they traded out.
But I mean, how is that your only other running back?
That I don't know. He might have made a move somewhere in the year. I mean, he had to have. Like, whether he traded, did he make a trade this year?
No, he hasn't made it. I don't think he's made a trade. I mean, I'm assuming maybe he had Eckler and cut him. I could see that being, but I mean, literally though, 2 running backs. That's it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. I feel like he had something. Maybe he
short bus.
Yep. Short bus. We're going that way. Next game up, Twin Bowers versus Bedtime.
Well, I ain't gonna burn myself on Drew again. I love the kid.
You've been riding that.
I've been trying to will his ass to wins, man. If I can't win, I want somebody in my house.
You go 4-2 and 5-1, but guess who that guy who always gets you is?
Always, man, son of a bitch. Like he doesn't even know I'm out here supporting. He don't even watch. Jerk. Yeah, I mean this one. If you look at if you look it up and down the rosters, this is an easy pick here for Donnie. And as you look at the players, it kind of backs it up. I wouldn't be so quick to say that though, because I don't sleep on Drew's roster, and he's got CD back. I mean, he's got McMillan sitting in a flex spot. Dude is a target beast. Evan Ingram has, ever since that Colts game where he only had, I believe, 1 catch, has quietly been producing ever since. This is going to be my upset of the week. I'm doing it again, you fuck. Damn it.
You can't help yourself, can you?
Upset of the week. Twin Bowers. This is the week. Sorry, Donnie.
Donnie, I'm rolling with you.
It's nothing against you, man.
I'm rolling with you.
Promise it's nothing
against you. I think the
Donnie.
moves you made were great. I think they put you into a contender spot. I think you got it going on right now.
I don't agree, dude.
I think you got this one. I don't think it's even going to be close. I mean, CD's going to come back. I think he's going to probably have a pretty good game. I've never been a big DK fan, not even since day one with him. I know he puts up some good points.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been an Aaron Rodgers fan either, but I'm not going to deny his place in history when he's done.
I am, because he was a Packer.
Right.
But, I'm going to go that route. I think Donnie's roster
is more solidified, I will say, but I think Drew's I think this might just be the week.
Yeah, I think if Drew wins this one, it's an upset.
I said upset of the week.
But I am going Donnie. I don't think he's going to be upset this week. Next game up, JJ's Masterclass against the Warden. Warden riding that high.
Well,
can he sustain it?
So
over the division.
Here's my relationship with the Warden. You stop.
I know where that was going.
No. So the week before, I made him my pick of the week, and he delivered.
Yep, he delivered.
I picked against him last week, and he screwed me.
Yeah.
I'm learning my lesson here.
What is the lesson? Because you did both.
No, I picked for him, and he delivers. I pick against him, and he still wins. So I'm going to pick with him. I'm going to go with the Warden here. I think this is going to be a close game, closer than expected. But, I mean, I think, again, I talked about JJ Masterclass's roster earlier, and I think he has a scary good roster. But I still think he's about maybe 2 or 3 weeks early from really hitting his stride. I think he's a second half team.
I do think I'm going with the Warden on this. I think this is a week to get JJ's Masterclass. Allen being off.
Yeah.
That's basically when Allen goes is he goes. I know JJ is part of his team, but it seems like his wins and losses or how well his team does revolves around Allen.
I agree, and I mean he does have a good matchup there. If you look at that replacement with Bryce Young, that's a great matchup. But I mean, again, what's Bryce Young's peak though?
He's not Josh Allen.
Yeah, what's his peak? 15.
So I think I'm going to go Warden on this one. I think he's got a pretty solid lineup for decent matchups. Running backs are playing well.
I think Scott's.
I'm curious with his roster how Chase does with Flacco.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that might be a little bit of a drop, at least for the first week or two.
I think Scott's roster is as good as it's going to be all year right now.
I think he's just going to constantly be in that 120 to 130. He's going to make you work to beat him.
But I think he has a possibility at a shakeup that may be something that could help him out. There's a lot of talk about a Jalen Waddle trade.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens and he lands in the right situation, I could see that being a move that really could catapult it. You know, we talked about you wanted to give Battle Buster a hard time on the Washington Commanders, a team that went to the NFC Championship last year. I just want you to gander down your best friend's roster.
Oh, has he got a couple?
3 Miami's
Dolphins
in the starting lineup.
But this is the first time Waddle's been in the starting lineup.
I'm just telling you facts, bro. It's right there. There's 3 Miami Dolphins in the starting lineup.
Yes, there is.
And that's not an issue.
Yep. No, I mean, not at all.
Can't make a shit up, guys.
You asked the question, I'm going to give you an answer.
I'm going with the Warden because I think he's got the better talent this week.
Hey, go Dolphins.
But God, what the hell? Anyway, moving on, man.
I don't even know where we're at this point.
We're on my game.
Motor Boaters against Team Johnson. What do you think?
I'm back.
You're back?
I'm back.
Are you back or are you just playing Team Johnson?
I'm playing Team Johnson.
Okay.
But I have an upcoming matchup against Team Fincham, and I'm feeling pretty good about that one, too.
Well, don't sleep on him. He'll get you.
I can get 76.
I'm just saying, don't sleep on him.
I can't get 150.
He's kind of sneaky.
But you need a good 90 spot. I'm your guy.
He's kind of sneaky. I'm going Motor Boaters on this one, too.
I actually looked it over, man. I actually think
I mean, I do enjoy picking against you, only because it bothers you more than anything.
I mean, 2 weeks in a row I picked against myself, and that's no lie.
But this is another one of those ones where I talked about 2 guys on one team. You know, 2 Colts receivers. He's relying on them. I think that's a horrible idea. It's only good when
my best friend does it.
True. It's only good when Scott does it. If everybody else does it, it's a horrible idea. Don't call me out on that.
Sorry, guys. I stumbled upon a gem.
Yeah. Motor Boaters it is, though.
I feel like I just have better matchups, honestly. I mean, it's not going to say it as far as the projections go, but, I mean, we're out here in the real world. We're feeling the highs and lows right now. I feel like Dobbins is going to kind of start to level off here. He's been leveling off. He's kind of diving down a little bit. I do have a little bit of a discrepancy on some injuries here. But I think that Colts game is going to lean kind of large part into our game. And I just don't see – I kind of wonder if the Colts can get a 30 spot.
So let me ask you, are Colts going to be able to sustain this all year?
The Colts will be able to sustain the competitiveness and the wins.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can sustain the points.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the fantasy world, can they sustain this?
Because, you see, I think one thing that's going a little bit unnoticed is the points that they're scoring are only masked by the 2007 Colts, which is probably the best team Indianapolis has ever seen. We've seen a lot of good football back when Manning was here and obviously with Luck. And they've only put up the amount of points that we're scoring now once. There's no way they can. There's no way. And how?
Because, but obviously their schedule is going to get a little bit tougher too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to play into it. So, it'll be interesting to see how they can do that. But like I said, I'm taking the Motor Boaters on this one. Sorry, Mark. Love you, but.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get hot here. I mean, Mahomes is playing, obviously, number 1 quarterback in fantasy.
Well, that's the first week he's kind of put him in, too, because Hurts has been up there.
And outside
it's a good problem to have when he had both of them.
You got Drake London coming off a big win, and they're as high as they could be right now, feeling on top of the world. And then if there was 2 other Colts that you would have that aren't named Jonathan Taylor, I would think he's got the other 2.
True. Or Jones.
He's got a chance.
Yeah, he's got a chance. But maybe not this week. Moving on. I know Ball versus the Big Fish. I think this is the matchup of the week.
Oh, this is Jason's matchup of the week. This is going to be a good one. Though.
This is the matchup.
Actually, I've been waiting on this one.
This is
for all
must-see
season.
TV right here.
Yeah. I feel like we need to get those guys on a Zoom call next week and let them talk about how what happened.
No, I don't think I want to listen to both of them talk.
True that. So this will be an interesting game to kind of break down.
This could be a Super Bowl preview kind of matchup.
I mean, everything tells you that, or tells me that Braden has more sustainability.
Yes. And Dan's
kind of running on a high.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's in the middle of the high.
Yes.
I don't know when he's going to start to drop off. But I mean,
the thing that Dan has going for him is he don't know enough about fantasy football to overthink it and screw something
yeah,
up.
he's not second guessing himself. He's not pulling players out, moving them in type shit. Gosh, it doesn't. I got to wonder about. I mean, he's got the number one tight end, so you know there's not a move there. He's chasing last week's numbers with Wandale Robinson.
Yeah,
but I don't hate it because Wandale Robinson is the guy he should own from the Giants.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's the same conversation we keep having over and over and over. He's got Scatterboo and Wandale Robinson starting.
I hate that idea.
Right. But the fucked up thing is, these are all from pretty subpar teams.
Yeah, not your juggernaut.
Yeah, nobody's got AJ Brown and Saquon.
Yeah, or
Javante and CD.
I mean, it's like you want Amon-Ra and Gibbs.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and we got teams that are under 500, and people let's just put them out there. Fuck it, we're gonna win.
Except for the Dolphins, everybody else sucks.
Like Dolphins, we'll put one more on there. Fuck it.
But
this will be a fun game, though, man. I am actually going to go with. I don't know if you would have it as an upset because record-wise it can't be, but I would say an upset in my opinion. I'm going Big Fish.
I'm going I know ball on this one. I don't know how you call one an upset over the other because
I feel like Braden's roster's better.
I feel this is if we were doing the power rankings. I know we're talking about bringing the power rankings out in a week or so, but this would be 1 and 1A to me in the power rankings.
I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, after a 70, how many did you score last week?
71.
Yeah, I think after a 71 point performance, you drop whatever the bottom level that you can be and still be acceptable, a 3 or 4, I'd say you're there.
Yeah, I'll take that. As long as I'm there somewhere. 71.
Anyway, I got Big Fish, man. This will be a fun one, though. I'll be excited to talk. This will be the one I'll be excited to talk about next week.
Yeah, it'd be interesting on this one.
How's he going to respond from Ibuka? Is he back? Is he coming? Is he playing? They got him projected for 0, and he still got him in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think he's going to be watching that one all the way to the end to make that last move. I think that was a hamstring injury at that.
It is, and those are never good. Yeah. I mean, the good thing is running true to form, he's got no Tampa Bay player.
Hey!
So, because that's what we do in this league. We just keep drafting players from the same team. So, if he can put Rashad White in that flex position, take Ibuka's spot, he'll be all good.
And Rashad White being the number 1 running back there right now.
That's what I'm saying. And it's not a bad move, but he's sitting on his bench right now. I would highly anticipate that to change as we move closer to the weekend. I would anticipate AJ Brown slipping into that receiver spot, and then Rashad White coming into the flex. That's just a guess. I think that does make the game a little bit closer.
It's nice to have AJ Brown there in reserve.
Mm-hmm. But I'm still going to go Big Fish. I think I talked about riding the high. I think he's in the middle of it. I think it's going to level out, but I don't think it's this week.
You think Dan goes home to his friends there in Florida and brags about how good a fantasy football player he is?
100%.
I think
I don't think he talks. I think he talks about how bad he is, so that whenever he gets to go and tell him about a win, it's like more of a celebration.
But how much do you think he talks about them guys down there? Like daily? I mean, like when they have their little coffee times or at the clubhouse.
Remember when we were talking about how we always feel like Mom's pretty mean to Dan? I think this might be part of why.
Could be why. Because he's not very good at fantasy football, but he wins.
And you want to sit around and talk about it all the time like he's good at it?
Exactly.
All right. Good luck, Dan. Sorry, Braden.
Moving on, last game. This ought to be a fun one.
Oh my God.
Mark's Monsters team by Beats by Ray.
Like we've talked about, there should be some rivalry games, and there should be
game.
like a prize you play for, like the open bucket. You know what I mean? Like, what are you playing for?
What are we playing?
Like for fucking Scott and Dan, you know, they're playing for a microphone.
Yeah.
You know, because they want somebody to hear their voice, what they got to say.
They got a lot to say.
You know, I think Mark and Tim are playing for a dildo.
Those WNBA ones they were throwing out on the court, those green ones.
Yeah,
maybe we should get them one for the winner or for the loser. I don't know how you really
they sign it every year.
trade it back and forth.
Oh,
I'll see if that's in the budget.
all right, we'll talk about that. But no, this will be a fun game though.
Fun?
Do we think? Well, I mean, was
Well, they got-
76 71 fun for you?
No, it was not.
It was fun for fucking Mark.
You probably sitting there with a heart on still.
Oh,
I got him, guys. I
wonder-
got him.
I can't believe you didn't blow up the group chat, dude. Mark, you got to be better, dude. Take that. You got one opportunity this year to do something good for the league.
Well, what we should do is just not even acknowledge him the rest of the video.
Done. Who knows? I'm picking Beats by Ray.
I was thinking Mark all the way up until that point too. Fuck you, Beats. You got it.
All right. That's what you got. You good?
Oh, man.
I'll see you guys next week, man. We are running out of shit to talk about. It's the middle of the season. It's like it's the dog days of summer, what they have in baseball season, right?
What do we call this?
Oh gosh.
Ah, well, we'll figure it out later.
The fall fuckery.